Sean Blankenship, thanks for joining me.
Sure.
So bring us up to speed with Coldwell Banker. You're a year into this position, and what was your charge coming in, and what has been really your primary goal for the brand?
Overall marketing for the brand is the task, if you will, the job. But I do think there was a strong desire to evolve the brand from a digital marketing standpoint, which I do have a background in. So, yeah, general CMO responsibilities with an emphasis on digital marketing.
So talk a little bit about what innovation looks like for a brand like Coldwell Banker.
It's probably not different than most brands, whether it's real estate, CPG, technology. I think the difference for us at Coldwell Banker is our heritage. You know, we are the original Silicon Valley startup. If you go back to our founder, who was about the same age as most Silicon Valley startups when they sort of disrupted an industry, being real estate, Coldwell. So for us, 108-year-old brand, it's continuing to stay on top of our game from an innovation standpoint.
So how do you become the choice of a new generation?
You know, I think it goes back to the fundamentals. We leverage, we have the experience, and we leverage that heritage and trust. So I think fundamentally, whether you're a millennial or whether you're Gen X or whether you're whatever, you're not going to transact and do business with a brand that you don't trust. So fundamentally, having those building blocks is an advantage for Coldwell Banker. So then it's a matter of continuing to evolve on the innovation front, and I think transparency. Because quite frankly, I think consumers to this day are going to continue to challenge the role of a realtor, the role of a real estate brand in the transaction. What am I getting for the 3%, for the 6%? And I think through technology and transparency, we can bridge that gap, especially with the millennials. So
talk a little bit about, to that point, you're actually, you've launched sort of a new process whereby sellers, actual people, share their own sort of overview and summary of the property that's being sold, and that's where you bring in this concept of authenticity and transparency. Why was that so important?
In more recent history, I think we've done a great job as a brand bringing sort of the lifestyle and the emotion aspect of owning a home through our campaigns, through PR. We never really brought that to the digital platforms. And we did some empirical research, and we found that consumers want to actually be a part of the process. And in doing so, we found that if we could bring sellers, which is our primary focus as a brand, into that process and allow them to participate and share their stories. You know, I use the term, if the walls could speak. Well, they can now on coldwellbanker.com. We're allowing the homeowner to tell their story, and who better suited to do that? Whether it's the home, whether it's the neighborhood. So as we explored this idea of allowing original content to be uploaded to a global site, what we found actually was that the benefit was going to be on the buyer side as well. Buyers want to have that type of content. They want to know the stories behind the home in the neighborhood. And again, who better to tell that story? So we just kept pushing. And then we realized if we put the agent at the center of all this, the agent now will be able to participate in this dialogue that's never really been done before on one platform. If you think about a typical seller or family who wants to move, they're looking at homes, they're making notes on paper, they're getting together at night at dinner to share notes and figure out what to tell the agent.
Right.
Well, that all can be done now through groups, through sharing, through a social environment on the website. So it started with this idea of, as a brand who embraces sellers, how can we bring them into the process? How can we bring original content to buyers? And how can we put the agent at the center of all that to sort of guide the process and make it more transparent?
Meanwhile, broader media strategy. I know that you're actually debuting a new commercial at the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Dogs is going, we're calling it Dogs, and we are very excited about it. Let me give you a little bit of history. Last year, well actually if I go back 3 to 4 years, we have found that the Academy Awards has really been sort of our Super Bowl. Okay. It's almost DVR proof. It's an event. You know, people gather around. They look forward to watching the commercials and so forth. So for us, it's a great medium to reach and to communicate the meaning of home, right? So last year we did Home Rocks, and we did something that was a little unique for a real estate brand. We had Motley Crue. It was sort of an anthem, and it was about this amazing experience about coming home that we all have, whether it be a long day at work or whether it be a soccer game on the weekend. And we started thinking about, well, what's really on the other side of that door when we come home? And for many of us, it's a dog wagging its tail as soon as it hears that car roll up in the driveway. So we are going to show America what that experience is like and that excitement's like of when you open the door and there's the dog. So
Very nice.
yeah, we're really excited about that.